At least temporarily. Clouds are starting to take on over, and that's going to give way to a wintry mess, at least through some of the northwest suburbs, the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos. Initially, a winter weather advisory starts at noon, continues through early tomorrow, and that's because in those areas you could see just a coating to a few inches of snowfall before then rainfall takes over and wipes all of that away. So what to expect with the weekend? Snow develops this afternoon, especially northwest of I-95. Philadelphia could see some flakes too before then changing over to a quick wintry mix and then just plain old rain tonight that lingers into tomorrow. And this is deficit assisting rainfall. We've got 1 to 2 inches expected for the weekend in its entirety. So you're also going to have to watch for those areas that are prone to runoff. We haven't had a lot of rain in a hot second either. And then those winds will crank tomorrow afternoon all the way into Monday as a cold front moves on through, and this one's going to be potent. We have a high wind watch already posted, gusts 50 to even 60 miles per hour possible starting tomorrow. Storm Tracker 6 right now, it's quiet here locally. You're starting to see more activity just around Washington, D.C. A lot of that not even making it to the surface as high pressure is still largely in charge of our forecast here up and along I-95, while the activity is still off to the west. From now, Pittsburgh seeing reports of light snowfall, back to Cincinnati seeing sleet and freezing rain, and then from Memphis and areas south, they're just seeing plain old rain. For us here, I think the development of this system really gets moving by about midday, with again some of that opportunity for snowfall initially off to the north and west by about 2-3 o'clock. That doesn't last long, but the rain does linger. I've got the latest timing, tracking, even perspective on totals coming up in that exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast recording at that point. The weekend forecast includes wet weather of our own. We've got an afternoon snow chance for some that'll transition quickly over to sleet and then to plain old rain, with a call from AccuWeather on this Saturday up to about 39 degrees. And if you thought today was enough when it comes to the forecast, think again. We've got more wet weather in store tomorrow, but temperatures nearly 20 degrees warmer with the call from AccuWeather tomorrow at 58 degrees, and it will turn windy. And again, the rain is going to be more segmented tomorrow. I think we could see a break, especially in the morning. We'll get into future tracker in a second. Satellite and radar still quiet and dry up and down I-95. For Pittsburgh, though, reports of light snowfall. You've got sleet and freezing rain out to Cincinnati. Beyond that and farther to the south, you've got just plain old rain, and this conveyor belt of moisture is headed in our direction. But the issue at hand is we've got high pressure still in control. That brought the victory sunshine for the parade yesterday, and so we have to fight off that dry air. So everything that you're seeing close to Washington, D.C. and Baltimore is actually having a very hard time making it to the surface. We call that virga from a meteorological standpoint, but we will pick up some snowfall, especially north of Philadelphia. A coating to an inch this afternoon and evening out to Mercer County, back to Lancaster, parts of Chester, and even Delaware County, the northwest suburbs, as well as the Lehigh Valley and then the Poconos. You've got the opportunity to pick up just a little bit more. 1 to 3 inches before then that rainfall comes in and sweeps this all the way. So here's future tracker. I think as early as the middle of the day, Storm Tracker 6 will start to get a little bit more active, and then we can already see some of the snowfall back out to Lancaster, Chester County, Reading, Allentown, even the Poconos, but it doesn't last forever. But those snowfall rates initially could be pretty good, especially as we moisten up the atmosphere. Then it's just rain with a little wintry mix up in the Poconos by 8-9 o'clock. That's everyone up and along I-95, including those areas that initially saw snow and sleet. A warm front's trying to lift, pushing moderate to heavy pockets of wet weather in very early tomorrow morning. So it's great sleeping weather if you don't have to be up early. If you do, Caroline Goggin and I will be in here early and on the air 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, timing all of this out in real time. So a few isolated showers tomorrow morning, but thanks to that warm front then being off to the north and east, I think we've got a break in the activity, especially through the northwest suburbs, the Lehigh Valley. I'm not saying everything tomorrow morning is sunshine and rainbows, because we have to wait for this cold front to move on through. This produces heavy rainfall yet again early to late afternoon. This is moving from west to east then, but as it sweeps on through, this cold front's pretty potent, so it's going to really kick up the winds, gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's going to send temperatures tumbling, but by 7 o'clock tomorrow for any of your dinner time plans on your Sunday for President's Day weekend leading you into Monday, it's likely to already be dry. But again, the winds are going to allow for downed branches, even trees, a few power outages, and then difficult travel here locally as we've got a high wind watch. This will then flip into a warning as we could see gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour from tomorrow morning through then Monday afternoon. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast: 39 today, snow to sleet to rain, periods of rain up in the Poconos where a high wind warning does persist through early this evening. So they've had gusts close to 60 miles per hour. Reading 55 miles per hour, matching that in Atlantic City. For Philadelphia, gusts up to 53 miles per hour, Doylestown 52, and Trenton 49 miles per hour. Now winds may not be that intense in some locations right now, but we're still gusting to 51 miles per hour out in Lancaster, and a lot of the region continues gusting between 30 to 50 miles per hour. Gusts up in the Poconos above 50 miles per hour gusts as well, around 40 in Atlantic City out to Millville. The chill also in place, but that wind advisory that has also kind of been downgraded from that high wind warning for the entire area yesterday, still now a wind advisory. This continues all the way through 6 o'clock for that wind gust potential of 45 to 55 miles per hour. But why is it so windy? Well, we've got this squeeze play set up right now. An area of low pressure off to the northeast. We had that cold front roar through yesterday, and you can continue to see just how powerful those winds are as the lake enhanced snowfall persists all the way through central Pennsylvania right now. We did have a few morning flurries, but just some instability clouds at the moment. But it does feel like the teens from Doylestown to Trenton. It feels like a whopping 3 up in the Poconos, 24 for Center City. And if you think it's cold right now and the winds lessen up during the overnight, our temperatures, they get a whole lot colder. So tomorrow morning, a lot of you waking up to the single digits. I've got the latest in the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast on the chill that just continues this week. Sarah? Down, but we still have a wind advisory. That's coming off of yesterday's high wind warning. We had wind gusts yesterday over 70 miles per hour, and today the wind advisory is in place because we could still deal with gusts 45 to 55 miles per hour, and some of you currently experiencing winds of that caliber. So yesterday we had those very strong winds. Today, just a step down from that, but still debris across the area, down branches a possibility, the continuation of power outages, and again those winds. The best part of this wind advisory is they start to diminish come tonight, but it's not going to take much as Arctic air follows what we actually dealt with yesterday. That cold front zoomed through, and that cold air is starting to catch up, and you're really going to notice it come tomorrow. Gusts of 30 for Center City, above 50 miles per hour out in Lancaster. Same thing in the Poconos. Reading, you continue to gust to 44 miles per hour, around 40 miles per hour from Millville to Atlantic City. And again, this is an all afternoon event as we continue to be placed in a squeeze play setup. And what that means to you, high pressure's not too far away. We've got an area of low pressure, and these are very close together. We've got a tight gradient here, and that continues to allow those winds to gust as high as they are. Now we've got brightness to the sky today, which is a change from yesterday. At times we saw some sun yesterday afternoon, but again, that front, it swept on through, and that really tossed up the winds, gusting as high as they were. So temperatures have been knocked down, generally about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. But South Jersey, you were well into the 50s at this time yesterday. So that means for you, it's nearly 20 degrees cooler. Your actual air temperatures now are still around freezing, especially through the northwest suburbs. It's in the 20s in the Poconos, mid 30s through interior South Jersey, 36 in Ocean City, almost 40 in Middletown, Delaware. And we don't have much room to grow as we go through the rest of your President's Day. So temperatures really topping in the mid to upper 30s for a lot of locations, staying a little cooler to the northwest of I-95. I think air temperatures are still around the upper 20s by about 10 o'clock tonight. But because those winds are still going to be sustained between 15 to 25 miles per hour, it's going to feel a whole lot colder. Down to 19 for Philadelphia, 14 in Allentown, 19 in Pemberton, and about 22 in Smyrna. High pressure's our friend. It keeps those skies bright and nice tomorrow, but the call from AccuWeather, 15 degrees below average with a high of just 30 degrees, and it's still stuck around 30 as we've got this southern slider that passes through the mid-Atlantic. So the bulk of that snow Wednesday into Thursday stays out of our hair. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, 36 on this President's Day, 30 stuck in the freezer, not just tomorrow, but really through the duration